This is how I have tracked and measured my business to ensure that I have earned well over £100,000 a year for the last 2 consecutive years. My name is Humphries Stone, co-founder of the Elite Agent Masterclass, and in the last 2 years I've earned well over £100,000 a year as a self-employed estate agent. The Elite Agent Masterclass exists to take you behind the scenes to understand the frameworks and the processes so that you can do the same. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on a single episode in this series. Equally, stay to the very end of this video where I'll be sharing a key ingredient that can fast track your success using the following framework. Right, so let's dive straight in. The framework that I'm going to share with you today is the laser framework, so that you remain laser focused on what it is that you need to achieve. I am very, very visual, so I'm going to draw this out, but I also really like breaking things down into really simple forms. I've got a busy brain, so I like to make things as simple as possible. So laser is all I need to think about when I think about measuring my business. Now, because I'm visual, I'm going to draw this out with buckets, okay? Stay with me. Bucket 1 is L. Bucket 2, A, and you know where I'm going. Forgive the drawing. Okay, cool. So we've got our buckets. Now you've got to imagine these buckets are on a pivot. Okay, now the idea is that the L is for leads. Okay, without leads, you have no business whatsoever. The A also has an I in there. I needed the laser framework to work, but the A stands for appointments and instructions. Okay. So we're just going to go with that. S is sales, E is exchanges, and R is for reviews and referrals, okay? So the idea here is once you fill your leads bucket up and it's on a pivot, it will start to fill up your appointments bucket, which will in turn turn into instructions. Once we fill that bucket, we'll start to generate sales and so on and so forth. The idea is that once you start creating lots of reviews and referrals, it will become self-fulfilling, and those referrals and reviews will turn into more leads and you'll create an organic flowing business. So at the very top, starting with the leads, the idea here is, as I've said in previous video content, you want to be omnipresent. We want to be generating leads through social media, through direct mail, through door knocking and through networking. They're the 4 core lead generation strategies. Then we've got the appointments, how we turn them into instructions, how we follow certain frameworks to generate sales. Then there's the progression process. There's lots of little nuances in the middle there that we can put in play to get from sale agreed to exchange quickly. And then what mechanisms you have in place, what processes you have in place to ensure that you create a raving fan out of every single client, both buyer and seller, to then create an army of people that are referring you to friends and family. So at the very beginning, I said that there was a key ingredient that can expedite, fast track, move this process along quicker. At the very top, there is a tap, and that tap can be turned on gently or at full blast. That tap represents an I, and that I is for your input. So there becomes a 6th step. Your input determines how the remainder of the process flows through. Now, generally speaking, there are 3 things that will get in the way of turning that tap right up. The first one is self-belief. If you have any doubt in your mind whatsoever around what you're doing and how you're doing it, then it will get in your way, it will hinder you, it will stop you from turning that tap right up. The second thing is believing that you can deliver enough value. A lot of people will go into this experience as a self-employed estate agent and say, well, what can I do that's any different to anybody else? Everybody advertises online, everybody's on social media. What can I possibly do that makes me stand out in a crowd? The final one is your competition. Lots of people will go into self-employed estate agency and be thinking about their competition. Yeah, but so-and-so on the high street delivers this at 0.5%, and such has market share and has 80% of the marketplace. Just for the record, those two comments that I've made there, cheap agents, high market share, that exists in every city, town, village and suburb across the entirety of the UK. You're not on your own if your marketplace has a dominant leader and a cheap agent. You're not on your own. But our focus within the Elite Agent Masterclass is helping you to deliver more value. The more value you can deliver, the more you will stand out against your competition. The more value that you deliver, the more clients will be drawn to you, and your self-belief will just naturally rise. Your confidence will rise. And through delivering exceptional value is what then makes you stand out. Competition is for those that want to compete. And that sounds obvious, but to me, I don't want to compete. What I do is completely different to everybody else in my marketplace. And what that's known as is a blue ocean. When you're creating immense value, you create a blue ocean. Everybody else in your marketplace that competes is swimming in a red ocean. And you don't want to be in a red ocean, because that's where the sharks are. That's where the race to the bottom is. That is where you end up having to compete on fee. And as Dan Kennedy, the famous copywriter and marketeer, once said, there is no competitive advantage to being the second cheapest in the market, but there is an exceptional advantage to being the most expensive. I hope you found this framework useful and you believe that it is an implementable, very simplistic way of measuring your business. If you'd like me to cover any specific topics, make sure you drop a comment below. And likewise, for future videos that we're going to be releasing with various frameworks and processes to take you on the journey to becoming a 100K plus a year estate agent, make sure you subscribe. I look forward to seeing you in future videos, and until next time, thank you very much for watching.